Let's get into the dailies for today. All right, we'll go into the newspapers we have, and I'll begin with the Daily Graphic. Don't create tension in country. Peace Council to party political actors. That's a big headline there on the front page of the Daily Graphic. We have Accra hosts World Book Capital, April 24th. All right, World Book Capital in Accra 24th. Be empathetic with economic turnaround efforts. Sam Jonah speaking. And Tourism Ministry develops more sites. This is coming from Ukriku Mante, Marco Ukriku Mante there.
Yes.
All right, so those are the headlines on the front page of the Daily Graphic.
And on the Ghanaian Times, the big one here is farmer, 39, to die by hanging for murder in 2017. Wow. Tourism Ministry targets 1.2 million tourist arrival in 2023. Interesting. And Accra to host 2023 UNESCO World Book Capital. Permanent Arbitration Court suspends $30 million case against Ghana following AG's objection. And the last one here, let's fight corruption nationwide. And that's by Apostle Nyamiche to Christians.
All right. I have the Chronicle and interesting headlines here. Promises by politicians. Mahama speaks with forked tongue. Yeah, that's an interesting headline there. Minister woos investors for $120 million to retool, $120 million to retool GBC. Really? Okay. 120 million. Wow. Okay. The season of politics is here, and there's a read on that in the Chronicle. Gayism is an existential threat to Ghana. This is Kofi Koranting speaking. Akufo-Addo opens Accra World Book Capital on April 24th. Okay, and we have Upper Denchura West NDC in disarray over Quayson's disqualification, and we have the scripture for today on the front page of the Chronicle. It says, be not a witness against your neighbor without cause, and do not deceive with your lips.
All right, so on the Finder, some of the headlines we have here are shippers, others to patronize EcoBank's payment services. Beige bank trial. Customers' funds were siphoned, issued misleading certificates. And that's a witness saying that. And global economy will be anemic, and that's by the IMF. Rapidly set up creditor committee for Ghana. The U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen appeals. And Dr. Baumia to address Harvard Africa Development Conference. All right.
The New Crusading Guide has these headlines. It says here, Afram Plains North NDC delegates route for Beli Walasi. We have IMB PRC reveals piracy attacks high on Ghana and Angola seas. John Kuma gives scholarships to brilliant but needy students in Ejiso constituency. Of course, he's the MP there. Galamsey fight is a shared responsibility. Honorable Duka charges government communicators. And embattled former KNUST SRC president graduate after exoneration. And that's it for the New Crusading Guide.
So on the Republic Press, the big one here, Brian rattles NDC. Party activists divided as busybody lawyers run to IGP. Dufour shakes Northern region. Dr. Bahumia to address 2023 Harvard Africa Development Conference as guest of honor. Adopts tobacco harm reduction strategies to promote safer smoking. NDC is made up of lions and will not be intimidated. And that's Francis Sosu as he tackles Brian Echampong. Man arrested over production of fake driver's license roadworthy certificates.
People are not tired of doing evil. The new publisher has these headlines. John Mahama gives prophecy. God has shown me 2024 results.
Wow.
I won Presdo big time.
Wow.
Okay. It says here, Godfrey Dame saves Ghana from 300 million US dollars. Okay. Jubilee House staffer retracts altered video of Isidu in Ketia. And Baumia addresses Harvard Africa Development Conference. So those are the headlines on the new publisher.
So my last paper being the Informer, the big one here is NPP NDC, foul air. Beat war drums ahead of elections 2024. In this issue, Vice President Office corrects false reportage. Wake up from slumber, NDC MP blasts leadership. Nowhere cool as Kenya celebrates dry Easter. Civil servants not paid. Bahumia punches Mahama over a confirmed Doomsor legacies. It's going to be an interesting
political season, man. It's heating up.
It's going to be an interesting season.
It's heating up. Well, let's go to citynewsroom.com, do a few stories there. NDC government will complete all abandoned projects. This is President Mahama's, former President Mahama speaking. I find it interesting, you know, but if he means it and it actually gets done, that'd be quite impressive.
Yeah.
You know, because there's projects like Saglemi, which were under, you know, his administration, you know, which are still standing there as white elephants, and you know, this particular government hasn't done anything about it. So anyway, yeah, we go on. And gold for oil, a possible cause of Goyle's petrol shortage. This is coming from COPEC.
Right.
And arrest Mahama over do or die comment, Nanabi to the police. All right, so this whole trading of accusations back and forth, you said this, you also said this, and, you know, so this is what's happening here.
Right. So I'm going to take two from here.
Yeah.
I wonder if Baumia actually lives in Ghana. Yamin on high cost of living. Bondholders petition Akufo-Addo over non-payments of matured bonds.
Eesh. Still.
Right.
Okay. And let me just do one final one. National Peace Council to engage political parties over comments inciting violence. And I think that's an important one.
I think it's high time. It's high time to do that. Yeah.
You know, political actors sometimes just, you know, there's too much testosterone, too much adrenaline, you know, and people just, you know, getting over hyper. You know,
and I think, and they talk without thinking.
No, but that's the over hyper thing. You know, it's like it's like too much hormonal, you know, rush in the system. You know, adrenaline, testosterone, everything.
Yeah.
So when you're on the stage, there it's like the hormones have the better of you. You know, but that's unfortunate. It shouldn't be happening. And 2024 is going to be critical. You know, so we hope that the National Peace Council jumps on top of this very early
ASAP.
and calms their nerves and, you know, tempers and all of that. And our political actors, please, let's be advised in the way we speak. It's important because, you know, the funny thing is that our politicians, they are friends.
They are all friends.
And they are chilled out friends. You know, do you remember when Brian was being vetted? And he said, "Hey, Ato." Yeah, I mean, it's like they didn't come to meet in Parliament. They are friends. Do you understand? So, but it's almost like you have to act for the cameras. You have to act when you are in front of others to show that to show your people that you are, you're worth your, you know. So. It makes the whole thing murky.
Yeah, it makes it murky because, like, at the end of the day, the two friends or the group of friends are not going to have issues. It's the supporters.
That's where the problem is going to come from.
That are the ones that are going to take over their words and act on it.
Yes.
And that's the problem.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, it's time for sports. Don't go anywhere. right, so today in sports we have football, Black Stars, and we also have something from the Black Queens, as well as something from the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. All right, so former Black Stars skipper Stephen Appiah believes a time is coming when former players in Ghana will be at the helm of the country's football administration. Stephen Appiah played at the apex of international and club football in his playing days and is of the view that former Ghanaian footballers should be given the opportunity to lead the administrative affairs of Ghanaian football. The former Juventus midfielder made his thoughts known in an interview with Kumasi-based radio station Sumpa FM. Now, just a quick comment on that. The fact that you're a great footballer doesn't mean you'll be a great administrator. That's the reality. We've seen it. We've seen it over and over and over again. The fact that you can play good football doesn't mean you'll be a good coach. You know, so it's not automatic. I don't think that it's almost like a rite of passage. It's like play the good football, then you get into administration of football. I don't agree with that necessarily. But yes, if you're a good administrator, having been a great footballer before will add, some credit to your place as, so you have, if you look at, in the international football, you see people, they never played football, but they're fantastic coaches, and then you see people who actually play football, they can't coach, we've been seeing it. I won't mention any club names, but yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Great footballers, you can't coach to save their lives. Anyway, let's go to the Black Queens. Ghana's Black Queens beat Senegal 1-0 at the Accra Sports Stadium on Tuesday in the second international friendly between the two teams. While the first match ended 3-0 to Ghana, the second was closer and was settled by a goal from Evelyn Badu in the 84th minute. The match was part of the Queens' preparations for their WAFU Cup and Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Now let's go over to the UEFA Champions League quarterfinals. Now, Manchester City and Inter Milan recorded important first leg wins on Tuesday in the last 8 of the competition. Now, Manchester City beat Bayern Munich 3-0 at the Etihad as Pep Guardiola came up against his former side. Now, Man City took the lead through Rodri with a lovely curling effort in the first half, and they added goals from Bernardo Silva and Erling Haaland in the second half to hold a good advantage ahead of next week's second leg. Now, the Italian side, Inter Milan, got a 2-0 win in Portugal against Benfica. Now, Nicolo Barella gave Inter the lead after 51 minutes, and Romelu Lukaku added a penalty in the 82nd minute. Now, the four teams meet again next week in the second leg. Tonight, Real Madrid will welcome Chelsea, while AC Milan take on Napoli. And that's it for sports today.